This is a Chromebook. Yeah, this is my Chromebook. It is running very bare bones Arch Linux, and this is a boot drive with HoloISO. Now, if you don't know what HoloISO is, it's SteamOS. It's SteamOS, made to run on things that aren't the Steam Deck. And we're installing it on this Chromebook. Now, what's the performance going to be like? Can't say, but it should run fairly low end requirements, considering this has a Intel Celeron N3350 processor running at 1.1 gigahertz. It's using integrated Intel graphics. It has 4 gig of LPDDR4 memory soldered onto the board. And this specific model comes with 32 gig of memory. Now, the I/O on this, let me just shut this down. Now, the I/O on this is actually really minimalist. You see, you have your headphone jack, a single USB-A port, an SD card reader, 1 and 2 USB-C ports that can both charge the device. Now, I've used this for all sorts of reasons. This was bought for school, and the only reason it's running Linux right now is because Chrome OS is going to no longer support this device, which sucks because then I lose out on security updates. So I decided to install Linux. However, today we're making this a gaming machine. We're turning this into a Steam Deck. Now, I'm also running custom boot firmware because normally Chromebooks don't support USB booting. This is running a piece of custom firmware that basically says, screw you, we're doing what we want. It's my device, I'll do what I want with it. So here we are in the boot manager. I've got the USB here, and we're just gonna plug it in. We're gonna go down to boot menu, and we're gonna select our Jet Flash Master Storage device. Now, I have got this hooked up into my capture card. Okay, so it did things while I was setting up OBS with the capture card, and we're stuck on a black screen. I'm gonna leave this for a few minutes and determine. Oh, hey, look at that! We booted into the live environment. Now, we just wait for it to load. And, oh, we got problems. It seems that the main mouse has decided to be on the capture card. Nice. Let's quickly configure that. Okay, so what I've done is I've changed the settings. It's now running at a glorious 720p. And it's now mirrored to my capture card. Good. Now, we're gonna connect to the internet and we're gonna install HoloISO on this device. Okay, after some messing around, we're finally connected to the internet. It's really slow, but we're connected to the internet. So now we boot into this HoloISO installer. You sure you want to continue with the installation? Yes. Now we wait. Okay, and it seems that we're stuck on this. Well, this is helpful. Oh, never mind. We're getting things. I'm gonna just skip through this entire install process. And just like that, the installation is finished. We can now reboot the device and try out the installation. Okay, we've been stuck on this screen for about a minute. Kind of worried. Surely it should have booted by now. I'm gonna leave it a little longer, but if it doesn't boot, then might have to switch to something else. Probably WineSap or Chimera. Alright, so here I have a boot drive for Arch Linux, because in the time it took to make this, it still hasn't booted, which means, yeah, HoloISO is not working on this. And I might look into it, but, like, I just want to play some games. So, we've got the boot drive in, we've got spam escape so we can get into the boot menu. Select our mass storage device. And here we are, we're in the Arch ISO, ready to install. And I'm still somewhat of a Linux noob, so I'm well, first of all, I'm going to ping Google to see whether I have an internet connection or not. Temporary failed. Okay. I've forgotten how to connect to the internet. I'm trying, but it's not working. Having to look it up. This is fun. Okay, I've got the internet sorted out. In fact, just to prove it, I'm going to ping google.com again. And you'll see 64 bytes every few milliseconds. Now, because I am somewhat of an Linux noob still, I'm going to just use Arch install and get through that process as quick as I can. And also want to get to downloading some games. Additional packages, right? We're going to get Git, we're going to get Vim, we're going to get Nano, we're going to get NeoFetch, RX, VT-Unicode, Steam. We have reached an issue. It cannot find the Steam packages. Well, seeing as it can't find it, looks like we'll just have to redo the entire thing again. Okay, so the install's done. Here we are in KDE, and now it's time to install Steam. And the process of installing Steam is actually quite interesting, mainly because, well, first thing we do is we open the console, and the first thing we do is we find our config file for Pacman. So sudo nano /etc/ I think it's pacman.conf, and here we are in the config file. So now we go down, all the way down to multilib and multilib, the command for it. And we just enable them by removing the hash symbols, which stop them from being comments. Save our file, X, to close out of it. Now, simple enough actually. Now we just update Pacman. I think that's the command for it. There we go. Simple enough. Now time to install Steam. Okay, Steam's installed. Don't need to do anything else. We can just go here and open Steam runtime. Okay, so Steam is installed, it's opened, time to log in. This QR code is gonna get blurred because I do not want you guys trying to sign in on this. This is gonna be my personal laptop. Right, so Steam is installed, it's ready to go, and I'm just gonna install three games. I'm gonna install 3 games I'm gonna use to benchmark, and I'll come back when that's all sorted. Okay, we're back. We have some games installed and also access to streaming the games because my PC is on. But we're not going to do that. We're going to run them natively. And we're going to do it from big picture mode. It should work. So we have a few games installed. We have Celeste, Hacknet, Half-Life, and Plants vs Zombies, and immediately just looking at how buffery the UI is, I'm not holding out much hope when it comes to actually playing these games. So we'll jump into Celeste. Wow, okay, that is taking its sweet time. So yeah, you'll notice there's no audio coming from this thing, and there's a reason for that. I'm not quite sure how or why, but for some reason when you install Linux on a Chromebook using the mrchromebox patch, firmware, it doesn't seem to recognize the speakers, and you have to actually download and set up specific drivers to use the speakers on these systems. And it only works in some distributions, and it works in Arch, Ubuntu, Mint, I want to say Fedora. I'll leave a link to the drivers in the description, so you can check it out for yourself. And if you want, I can also detail how to install just bare bones Linux, well, not bare bones Linux, but a Linux distribution and completely wiping Chrome OS, if that's what you guys want. We have booted into Celeste and it's kicked us out of big picture mode. And oh, bit of a frame drop there. Ignore my not so good Celeste skills, but yeah. So as you can see, Celeste runs fine. Oh dear. Okay, I failed that, but Celeste seems to run fine. Let's test another controller game. And Half-Life. There we go, we've booted into Half-Life. We'll just go into the training room. Why can't I walk? I can't walk. Okay, just to show you I'm not messing around, I'm moving the joystick and I'm not moving. Everything else works, but the joystick isn't. Well, know what I gotta do. We're unplugging the mouse. We're unplugging the controller. And we're gonna bring in the wireless mouse. There we go. And yeah, not surprising the slightest. Half-Life is a simple game, doesn't really require much to run. It released in the 90s. If this Chromebook was not able to run Half-Life, I'd be very concerned. The only thing I will comment on is I can feel like it getting warmer, which is a slight concern. Okay, I've said enough. I know I said I installed 4 games, but I'm just going to do one more benchmark, and we're going to play Plants vs Zombies, and we have to wait for the Vulkan shaders, of course. It's loading very, very slowly. Let's just load into the adventure. Seems to be running fine. And we're just that's OBS that's not an OBS issue. That's wow, that's running slow. Jeez, that is running slow. But oh, now it goes to being smooth. Okay. I will say I have tried Plants vs Zombies on this before. It's pretty similar conditions. And it doesn't actually get that bad, but yeah, when you start having like loads of zombies and suns and peas going everywhere, that's when it starts to run slow. So for the sake of benchmarking, I'll just tell you that. So yeah, here it is, guys. The Chromebook as a Steam Deck. Would I recommend it? Probably not. Mainly, well, not this specific one. Other models that have efficient cooling, decent specs, I would probably recommend them as Steam Decks, if that's what you want to use them for. If you enjoy watching this video, don't forget to like, maybe subscribe if you want. Not forcing you, no one's forcing you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's been fun. I'll catch you in the next one.